everyone. Today we got to play a game of Cryptid Cafe. Now this game is about a cafe full of monsters that are hungry. And this giant kraken is making food for the customers. And so you are the waiter and you're trying to get the food and deliver it to your customers before they get angry and leave. So the theme is super cute on this one. But before we get started, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and the notification bell because board games are amazing. And that's what we do here at Legends of Nirvana. Now, this game is done by
Squatchy Games. Cryptid Cafe is a 2022 release. This is a 1 to 5 player game. 30 to 60 minutes, age 10 and up. It's not been released yet. It was actually a Origins pre-release. It's designed by Chip Cole. Art also by Chip Cole. Good job. We'll get into that in a little bit. Published, again, by Squatchy Games. Now, it's available on Miniature Market's website for pre-order. It was not up on Card House. It's got an MSRP of $39.99, but its pre-order price on Miniature Market is $28.99. They also have a Creeples expansion, which I'm assuming is the expansion we picked up, but it's called Server Pack on here, so I'm not sure why they're calling it Creeples. But that one runs $14.99, and they were selling it for $10.99. Origins, I picked this up for $10 as an add-on, so I'm assuming that's what that they're selling, but they didn't have a picture, so I couldn't confirm. But yeah, I think that's the only place I found it readily available for pre-order.
Yeah. All right. So now let's talk about components. Oh my goodness, this stuff is freaking amazing. So, I mean, you have screen printed workers, you have so many different monsters that you can choose to play with. Also, the resource tokens are these wood screen printed tiles, which are fantastic. The money, oh my gosh, guys, I love the money and the art on the money. So, as far as I'm concerned, this is a fantastic...
The cards don't have a linen finish, but they're tarot sized and they're actually pretty good cards. Everybody has their own deck, but they're the same deck. It's just they're labeled for 1 to 5 player. There's a central board, which the cardboard's pretty decent thickness on that. Talk about art in a little bit. As far as the screen printing, I wish they would have done it on both sides, but it's beautiful what they did do.
Yeah. So overall, I think I'm going to give this a 8.5 for quality of components.
I mean, there's not a lot to the game, but everything that they did is pretty darn good. I'm probably give them a 9 because I mean, it's just there's not much to it, but it's all well done. Now, you said there's a lot of creatures. There's 5 creatures in the main box, 1 for each player, but there's this server pack that you get. Gives you 48 additional creatures. Of course, some of them are the same ones that you already had. There's overlap. Well, I'm not sure why they did an overlap, but you can do basically any creature you want from the game. So that was pretty cool.
So that being said, it's pretty awesome. All right, so now let's talk about the theme. Hello, Monster Cafe. I mean, you got brain sandwich. You've got a green eye soup, you've got a spider cider, you've got some type of cinnamon roll kind of looking thing, and then you had this skull coffee. Like, just the art's so cute and so much fun. I mean, it's a nice twist on a cafe theme, if you will, and the art is absolutely adorable. It's stinking cute. I think he did a fantastic job with theme. I like the fact that you've got a kraken cooking all of this, and then if you don't use your resources, normally you get victory points for having leftover. That is not the case.
You lose points.
He does not like you wasting food.
He wants efficiency.
Yes. So, no, overall, though, the theme, I mean, I think it's spot on, right? You get customers, if they wait too long, they get mad and they
get angry
leave.
And they leave, and you lose victory points. And, it's very much like Root Beer Tapper, which I used to play as a kid. Except for there, they would take you and throw you down the bar. But the same concept though. They get angry the longer they have to wait, and you lose victory points along the way.
Yeah. So absolutely, I mean, I think it's a 9. I mean, I think theme wise, I think it's spot on. I like the art. I think they did a great job. I'm 9 on theme on this. What about you?
I don't know what to dock it for on theme. There's not much to it, but everything's done well. I mean, it's a 10 to me. It's a lot of fun as far as the theme goes.
The only reason I gave it a 9 is because there is not a lot, but it is really good with what there is. So
I love that the board is like this giant octopus. I mean, it's very angry octopus too, because it's like I'm going to do all the work.
Don't waste the food, right?
Yeah.
No, it's fantastic. So let's talk about the rule book. What did you?
So the rule book is a really nice size. It's a generic kind of a wood look to it, but it is 16 pages long. Now the only a grievance I had about the rule book is they have a components list without pictures, just text. So you can't really tell like what things are. Now, I mean, it does have the names. I love that they named the things like Hexpresso and Hot Apple Spider tokens, and they have the BLTE and the Cinnamonster roll, and they made fun little names on them. But the fact is that it's not hard to decipher what they are, but it would have been nice if they put images with the text.
Yeah. Other than that,
it was simple to read. I mean, it was quick to pick up the game. It was not hard. I think we referenced back a couple times just to make sure we were playing things right, scoring it right, everything like that as we were going through. But you really don't need the rulebook once you've learned it. There aren't any cheat sheets, but you don't really need them. It's such a basic, simple concept. After you get, it's really 10 pages, well, 9 pages because one of the front cover of rules, and then you get into the solo and 2-player variants, and then they go into the history of all the different creatures in the game, which I thought was really cool. So they explain, because these are actual, like, they're not made up creatures. These are, well, they are. They're the stories, the legendary stories, like the Loch Ness Monster and the Jersey Devil and Chupacabra, and all the well-known local legend creatures that you might hear of. Now we have one, the Poplick Monster, that's in Louisville. That one was not in here. We were a little disappointed. The Goat Man was not in here because he can run 70 miles an hour, which we thought we just got a good laugh about that. But no, there's the most popular ones are in here, and some that are more obscure too. So it's fun that there's all these different creatures. But all in all, I think it's a pretty decent rule book. I just wish they would have done a little better explaining the name to the text, or the text to the image. I'll probably go ahead and give it a 7.5.
Okay, cool. All right, so going into gameplay. So basically, you have a stack of events in the deck. So at the beginning of the game, you are going to randomly pick out 2 of those. You're going to put them in your own deck, and then you're going to shuffle that deck. Hello. And then you're going to place 2 of those for things. So basically,
fill your green area. There's a green, yellow, orange, and red section on your board.
So the key thing is the filling of the green area. This will matter later as you complete them. All right, so Randy has his 3 workers. I have mine. Just so happensly, I'm going to go first because I said so. So I get to then place my worker on any location on the board. Now, obviously, so in this particular card, I need 3 cinnamon rolls, 4 green soups, and 2 sandwiches. Well, you know what? It's very important because I need 4 of these. Then I get 4 of these soups. So I'm going to go place to get a 3 on the soup. Now, Randy over here.
Well, we're going to assume somebody's between us because it's set up for 3.
Oh, okay.
So we'll put that person there. Then I get to pick. I can play anywhere. Now,
he's probably going to go to a 3.
Okay. Well.
Okay. And then so I cannot go to the row that I'm already in. So even though I need 4, tough luck on Miranda. But I tell you what, I do need some of this spider coffee. So I'm going to go here. I'm going to go get some spider thing for this card here.
And I'm going to need it too, so I'm going to go there as well.
Uh-oh. All right, so we're going to finish placing our workers down.
Oh, yeah, I forgot to put him down.
Okay.
All right, so...
Yeah.
We'll put him here.
Okay.
All right.
So then we start at this side of the board, and whoever's at the bottom can choose to pay coins, aka victory points, to jump ahead of the line if they're in the back. So in this case,
there's nobody there. It's just me in the front.
Now the back can then choose to do that. So he's saying, all right, you know what? I am going to pay 2 coins. So he'll put 2 coins on the octopus. He'll bump this guy back. Okay. And that be that. Now, if, for instance, the guy was at the 2 instead of the 1, he would only have to pay 1 coin to bump him back. Yeah. So it's not the fact that you're on the 1, it's the fact that you are on the bottom of the
You have to be the one at the back. And if somebody bumps you and you become the new back, it's only one time that somebody gets bumped.
All right.
And you can only do it in one column. So
so since black's already done it, he can't do it for the rest of the turn. Okay, so now blue
so I can pay 2 coin and I would move to the front.
If he chose to do that. All right.
But you would not be able to because it's already been done.
Now, this row, he's already done it, so that's out, and then I'm the only one there, so that's it. All right, and then we go to gather the resources. So at this point, we take the different resources, we put them on our board, so we put them here. We do not serve, so you don't apply the resources to the card until you have all of them completed. Yeah. Okay?
Now at this point, we have 2 event cards you can play that are in your hand. These are available to you during the game. They're one-time use cards, one of which lets you swap positions of 2 monsters. So if you have one that's dangerously close to leaving, but you can fill the order and you get more points, you can swap the 2 out and get that one at a higher value.
Right.
The other one lets you take the card and change their order to be some other player's order. So I could fulfill this character's wishes, but he wants what this one's having. So you pay the cost of this one, you get the benefit of whatever that one's at the score, but you keep the card that you got. Whenever you fill one, it goes into your served area, and you will, at the end of the game, get bonus points potentially by collecting sets of those.
Yeah. That's essentially the game. You play for... depending on player count, a minimum of 7 rounds, up to 10 rounds, again, based on player count. That's the game.
After you fill any orders you can do, if you can't fill them, they all move down, and you backfill the green area. But you can do 1 or 2. So I could push it out if I wanted more creatures, or I could just do 1 if I wanted to be safe.
Honestly, I did not need to do that.
Yeah, we didn't do it until the very last turn, and then we filled 2 just to get more options.
That's because we knew they wouldn't fall off. So and then we got an event, which was kind of crappy, but there you go.
Yeah.
No, overall. So if we did get an event, all right. So say I did flip over this event. This one says no Hexpresso this round. So basically, when we set up to go play the next round, what we did, which I actually kind of liked, is we took the money that was on the octopus and blocked the thing that we couldn't use that round, and it was just easy to remember that way. So I did like that little thing. It didn't tell it to do it in the rule book, but it works. So that works. So that stays on my board until the next round when things float off. And at that case, then I fill up 2 more.
Yeah. So, if 2 people have an event, only one will trigger. The one closest to whoever's got the first player marker.
Oh, that's good to know.
So yeah.
That we didn't encounter that.
You can't have multiple events. You can only have 1 per round.
Now, overall, I thought this was a really cute game. Honestly, I think Sarah can play this game, which I kind of like quite a bit because I think it's a good, solid game for intro light games. And I think Sarah can play it. Like I said, she's 8. So that's kind of exciting. I think the theme's cute. I think it is a very family-friendly theme. Overall, it's a great light game.
Yeah, there's not a lot to the gameplay. I mean, it's literally just play cards down to your board, pick up the items that you collect from your, whatever's in the lines you're in up there, and try to fill orders. That's it. Really,
right.
That's all
but there is a little bit of strategy, right? Because you got to figure out, because coins are victory points. So when we were jumping up the track, is this worth 2 victory points to me? And sometimes the answer is no. Or sometimes the answer is yes. And then there's also the strategy of, all right, because none of these cards take 1 round to fulfill. They all take at least 2. So trying to make sure that you're completing them in a timely manner and hopefully more than 1 at a time So there's a lot involved. And so there is a little bit of strategy there that, like, as a kid, you don't need to have, right? Like, if she's playing, she doesn't have to think that far. She's just like, oh, this is what I need for my character. Where an adult can plan a little bit ahead.
And you need to take it very seriously at the end when it's what resources you are going to have left over. I lost a ton of points because for every 2 resources you have left over at the end, you lose a victory point.
Yep.
And I ended the game with like 6 points, whereas you had like 40 or something, I think.
Yep.
Yeah, it was painful.
I won.
Yes, you won handily.
Yep.
Or no, did Corey win or you? You was Corey.
No, Corey. I won by 1 point.
Okay, he beat you. You beat him by 1. Yeah, I knew he was giving you a run for your money.
No,
your dad and I were nowhere close.
Yeah. So no, overall though, fantastic game. Like I said, very family friendly. Given the nature, right? It's not my crunchy games that I prefer, but given the weight of the game, given what it is, I'm actually going to give this a 9. I thought it was cute. I thought it was fun.
Oh.
It played very seamlessly. It's a good, family friendly game.
Yeah. That surprised me because I thought we talked the other day you were a little lower than that.
I was an 8, 8.5, 9, right there. But the more I thought about it, the more I was like, this is a good, solid game.
Yeah,
like it's a good game.
I don't know if I can justify 9 because of the simplicity. It is a fun family game.
Mine was a hashtag. It's a simple game.
Yeah,
like if you're talking about my absolutely love factor, it is an 8.
Yeah,
right. But for a family friendly, teenage kid game, I mean, this is an intro level game, light game. This one's a good one.
Oh, I think so too. Now, I do think there is a lot of luck in how the cards come up.
Yeah,
you can get hosed. I had like every one of my cards needed that soup early in the game, and that was painful. So you can get a bad mix of cards. So given the luck factor into it, I have to discount it a little bit. I'm probably more like a 7.5 to an 8. I'll go 7.75. I think it's a good game, and it is going to be fun. And I do think Sarah's going to love the theme and enjoy playing. I'm glad we're getting some more of these games that I think we can include her in. So from that perspective, but I just think it doesn't have enough meat in order for me to push it higher.
Well, and like I said, that's why I had that caveat there for what it is. Yeah. It's a pretty good game. Now, I do think there's some luck based. I do think they have an opportunity for expansion to be able to manage your hand.
It'd been really nice if there was some kind of way of trading like resources or something, I think. But, it didn't have any of that. You have those 2 action cards you can take during the game, and that's the only, variance from just pick up your orders and try to fill them.
Yeah, I think something could have been done. I think it leads it's open for expansion opportunity because I do think at the end, when you have that roadblocked, or maybe just say, hey, the last round, no events, or something. Yep. Something, that last round was pretty bad when we got an event. But you know what? It totally worked in my favor.
Oh, yeah, it did. And I will say also on this server pack, it was completely cosmetic. So it adds literally just more playable figurines. So it doesn't add any gameplay. So it's really up to you if you like to have all the variants and pieces. If you want to play as a character that's not represented but is in the cards, like the Thunderbird or the, whatever your favorite fictitious creature of choice is.
I got Logmax.
Like Yeti is not in the base game, but the cards are. But the actual Yeti figure is in the expansion.
I'm just that the purple are the bats.
So they have, but there are lots of different choices and colors and styles.
Yeah, no, so it makes it a lot of fun, and especially if you have kids or teenagers, picking out your monster.
Yeah, I mean it's $10-15. If you don't mind throwing another 10 or 15, they are all screen printed, so they're I found it to be worth it just because you got a sheer variety, but you don't need them.
Correct. All right. Well, guys, thank you so much for joining us. We had an absolute blast today. Definitely give this a look-see, especially if you've got family and kids, or even if not, just a lighter game that it's just fun. It has a great theme. So hopefully you'll come hang out with us again. We'll catch you guys later.
Bye.